Test. To do the one was hello. Thank you. Bye.
Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. Why is that so loud? Well, let me know if the mic's too loud. Or not loud enough. It's seriously redlining. So tonight we're going... It does? Alright. Well, I got the game sounds turned way down. Let's try that. Yeah, it was going way up in the red. So we'll try that. What's going on, Carvaca? That sounds like one of the villains from Mortal Kombat. We got food, we got water. Should be good to go. Okay. Yep, good day today. Good day today. Now we're going to get the Scarab Carapace chest piece. And by then we should be level 9. And then we'll go over to Crushbone. I forget how to get it though. I forget what I need. So we'll go ask the dude. Rare talent. What rare talent? Scarab breastplate. What scarab breastplate? Ah, there we go. Ah, Scarab Breastplate. Well, if you want to convince me to go through the trouble of creating one of those, not only will you have to pay my fee of 23 gold. God, it's a racket. Go out and get a bunch of bug parts for this guy, and he still charge you. Pristine Giant Scarab Carapace and 23 gold. So we just need a Pristine Giant Scarab Carapace. Got it. Let's go kill some bugs. At level 9, we get our first batch of spells. Then we should be good to go. It's torn between this and my Necro. I have a newbie Necro. Still putzing around Nectalos Forest. But I like the Paladin more. So let's go find us a bug. Bully. I kill these on the off chance they drop a backpack. They usually drop food and water and backpacks and stuff, handy stuff. Good way to supplement your income. It's like Social Security for poor adventurers. As soon as its first damage cap drops at 20, if, assuming I play him that long, with the green server coming out, I'm just kind of putzing around on the blue server, not really getting too involved in it. Just keep my hands in, Probably back on either Shroud or the City Hero server tomorrow night. I don't know which. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday I have to work till 10. So they're going to be hit or miss nights. I don't know. What is that? There's a barbarian. I think he's lost. Excuse me. And that's what we need. We need a pristine carapace. Should have stayed Nixar. Or Kunark. Ah, they're still counting yellow. What the freaking level are they? Let's see if this one dropped one. Might not have to kill any. Alright. Well, we might not even be killing this one. Good lord, this fight didn't start out well. I haven't hit him once yet. I got no lay on hands. Yeah, I'm going to have to run from this. Good lord. I should just let him die. Teach him a lesson. Get good. Not encumbered. Damn it. Well, that's not irritating or embarrassing. Nobody saw that, right? I guess I better get used to it. On the green server, there's going to be no hand holding at all. It's going to be brutal. God, it's going to be so rough. Level 1, fight a rat, sit for a half hour. P-Dub, what's going on? How's tricks, yo? I know, it's bamboo under the fingernails. It's going to be wonderful. Are you going to be playing? I'll stick with the spiderlings. They don't beat me up so hard. Yeah, I agree. Well, at least check it out. At the very least, I'm going to try it. Be interesting to see how it goes. I think I'm going to start on this continent, though. Maybe like with the dwarf or something. I always start on Antonica. So I figured new server, new beginning. New experiences. See how it goes. Maybe a dwarf or an elf of some sort, and then go, you know, level in Crushbone, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Everybody's going to be a noob again. Of course, after the first week, you're going to have your level 60s all up and running, or 50s, I guess it would be. It is. I'm debating a cleric. Because I know we're going to need one. And I'd hate to stick somebody else with that responsibility. What is the deal with these freaking scarabs? I leveled up. The last time I came here, they were all yellow and white, and then I went and handed in a bunch of bone chips and did a level and a half, and they're all still yellow and white. Of course, there's always the elves too, and the gnomes. I don't know. Maybe a ranger. Maybe I'll start with a ranger. Was that even an option in Classic, in the base game? Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. Although with spellcasters you do have a bit of an advantage because you're not as gear dependent. So maybe I'll take that route and go completely off the chain and just play spellcaster. Yeah, no, you can't even be a halfling ranger on P99 on the blue server, which sucks. But yeah, wood elves and what's it? Wood elves and humans, half elves maybe. Wood elves, half elves, humans. Definitely going to have fun in High Pass, though. Polished Granite Tomahawk is going to sound mighty appealing after a while. That Darkwood shield. Cracked Darkwood shield. God, the wait for the drops on Shralock packs. Yeah, Necro's a possibility too, but you can't really do that on this continent. Someone say Necro? Necro, what's going on? We're discussing which class to play on the green server. I think the edge is going to go to the spellcaster simply because they're not as gear dependent. And it's much easier to make a set of starting gear. You just start getting your hands on as much spider silk as you can, and you got a full suit of starter armor. Easy peasy. Yes, green server starting next month. I think it's mid-month. Like around the 19th, maybe. I don't know the exact date, but green server's starting up next month. Classic, straight classic. No custom UIs. Let's go around killing piddly stuff until my health regenerates. The green server, they're calling it. No, I don't think they're going to allow it. I don't even think it's a possibility. Although they are using, from what I gather, they're using the same client, Titanium Edition or whatever. I think they're kind of stuck with that version of the client. So I don't know why you wouldn't be able to use custom UI, but I don't know. Somebody was saying there's no custom UIs allowed. I don't know. But I figure on Classic, why not use Classic UI? Most of the information I get is secondhand. So I'm never quite sure how reliable it is, but damn it, it's going to take a while. Out of bandages. Oh God, you mean the box. The freaking box. Yeah, where your play window was like this little box in the center, completely surrounded by, you know, your hotkeys and your bags and everything. Yeah, that was brutal. That was not entertaining at all. But at the time you didn't know any better, so it was cool. Do you remember that tutorial zone that they had in the very early versions of the game? You could play. I think you could even play it offline. I don't even think you had to be online for it. And it basically just showed you how to climb a ladder and interact with NPCs and. I played through that so many times because I was afraid to actually log on to the server. Because I didn't want to look stupid, you know. So I went through that just to make sure I knew all the controls before I actually logged on. That was back in those days when I had that hideous UI. Yeah. It was like the EQ tutorial.exe or something like that. I don't remember. It's so dark. It's so dark. What's this coming? Get him, boys. There's a goblin coming. Get him. Ah, look at him. Coward. He's afraid of some tiny little dwarves. What are you afraid of? Somebody on the dock needs some food. I'm guessing it's Nixar of some sort. Wasn't so far away, I'd be more than happy to do it. Well, they've had how many years to beta test? I mean, that's really all the Blue Server was just an extended, incredibly extended beta test. They should. If they don't have it figured out by now, they're never going to. Jesus Christ. What was it, 10 years this has been running? Sablis, thanks for the follow. Alright, let's go kill this bug. Hopefully it doesn't kill us first. Oops. He's got the high ground. Oh, my kingdom for a heal spell. Goblin. Is that a goblin or goblin whelp? Oh, it's a whelp. We could take a whelp. Barely. A paladin before he gets his spells is really just an incredibly pathetic warrior. And then after he gets his spells, he's just a really pathetic cleric. It's a trade-off. Dwarf. Bar none. Dwarf. Ah, thank you. Don't ask me to quantify that statement. It's just, I know in D&D dwarves are always the best clerics and paladins, and I'm just assuming the same holds true for your starting stats are the applicable starting stats except for your charisma. Dwarves get a reduction in charisma, but I think they get an increase in wisdom, or start with a higher wisdom or something like that. I remember reading somewhere that dwarves are the better class. Humans aren't better at anything; they're just better at getting around. Night elves, or high elves, can be paladins also. But I don't think wisdom's their thing. They're an intelligence race. Now they do have the higher charisma, but I don't know. I don't know if charisma really plays all that much in Paladin and EverQuest. I know it did in D&D. You get confused over the years. But dwarf. Just go with dwarf. You'll see more dwarf paladins than you will anything, I think. Yes, well, that's how I got from 6 to pert near 9. Just handing 3 stacks of bone chips took me from level 6 to 68% into level 8. And there's those easy to kill decaying skeletons all over the place. One hit. I'm going to miss my convenient UI though. It's nice having all your bag slots right here. I'm going to be doing a lot of this. Oh, enchanters. Enchanters on the green server. Can you imagine? They're hard enough to play on P99 with all the spell swapping and everything you do in higher levels. Bards. Whew. It's going to be a hoot. Maybe I'll get leukemia that month or something. Looking forward to it, but I am trepidatious. You get spoiled by MMOs. If you play any of the modern MMOs, you get spoiled. And you forget how much of a grind it was back in the day. Me too. I love that UI. That's my favorite UI of all. It's clean. You have access to all your bags. You don't have to go opening crap all the time. Your spell bar tells you exactly what spell's up there. You don't have to mouse over it or hold down the Alt key or whatever. It's got this. This is really nice. Health, mana, stuff. Just all your pertinent information's right here. Resistances to the various elemental attacks, disease, poison, magic, whatever. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice, excuse me, well-made UI. All you have to do is take one look at the elf models, female elf models, and know that this game was made by horny gamers. And then you look at the female troll models, and that kind of throws that off a little bit. Alright, I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. I'll be right back in just a minute. And then we'll continue on. What I'm working on right now is trying to get a pristine scarab carapace. Azak, what's going on? So I can get the chest piece, and then we're going to head on over to Crushbone. But by then I'm hoping to be level 9. Then we can grab our spells and do it, get it all done at once. So I will be right back, and we'll carry on. Alright, we're back. As I said, trying to get a pristine scarab carapace, giant pristine scarab carapace, get our chest piece, get our spells, go over to Crushbone and get dead a lot. Necro, I mentioned this last time I streamed, turned me on to the Star Wars Galaxies Legends server. And for those of you unfamiliar with it, which is probably most of you, it's not very popular because it's post-patch rather than pre-patch. Yo, damn it. Wait, well, we can handle that one. And having never been a traditional Star Wars Galaxies player in the first place. I don't have that bias that a lot of the original players of the game have. And I'm finding that I'm really enjoying it. It's got a lot of the stuff that yeah. Well, having played on the EQEMU or Star Wars Galaxies emulator server, one of the things that detracted me from it the most was the lack of story. Now, there may have been stuff like that that I just never got around to doing or never came across or whatever. But it just seemed like the whole game was just a bunch of random missions and building a town, you know. I don't know how accurate that is. But, you know, it was a lot of leveling just for the sake of leveling. For me, you know, there has to be content, story, a purpose, a hook. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I assumed. And I very early on, I found a melee exploit that basically allowed you to kill anything you wanted just by kiting it, because you got a short range ranged attack with melee called lunge, and you just find very high level melee targets that didn't use blasters, like animals and stuff like that. And you just kite it and just spam your lunge key, and it's going to die. And you're going to be perfectly fine. You're going to be completely unscathed because it can't run fast enough to hit you with its melee attacks. And that was kind of a downer. So I was going after like these elite mobs that were designed for groups and whatnot, and just kiting them and killing them. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it would take me 20-30 minutes to kill one, but at the end of it, you know, after the carpal tunnel died down a little bit, I, you know, got a lot of XP and killed something that I wasn't supposed to be able to solo. I never got that far into it. Never, you know, got my first house, for example. Never really did all that much with it. It was just kind of dabbling with it, just so I could say that I played it. Because, like I said, I didn't really enjoy it all that much. It was fine for what it was. But all those Twi'leks in the cantinas dancing at me kind of unsettled me a little bit. Because I know who's sitting on the other side of that character on that keyboard. And it ain't no hot young Twi'lek, I guarantee you that. Doing good, Az. How you doing? It's so dark. I am sorry it's so dark. I don't know how much you guys can see or how much you guys can't see, but the only way around that is to put a torch in my hand. It's EverQuest. It is what it is. I could turn up the gamma, I guess. Oh, no, I can't because I'm in windowed mode and the gamma doesn't work. You can? Good, good. So I got my OBS up here on the top monitor, and the angle's a bit off, so everything looks incredibly dark. The viewing angle. Gotta fix that. Gotta do something with that. You want to wait till next month, Az. You want to wait till next month. Green Server. Green Server is launching next month. The P99 Green Server. It's going to be a fresh start. Fresh server. Classic only. All the cool kids are going to be there. And it's going to be an even playing field. You're not going to have to worry about catching up. Get in early, and you don't have to worry about all that stuff. Yeah, it's going to be painfully fun. Fun like Chinese water torture fun, but it's going to be fun. I make my jokes, but oh really? It's going to be a busy week. No progression from what I gather. They're just keeping it classic. And there was talk about, moving like max level characters over to the blue server or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how true that is. Again, a lot of the information I receive is secondhand, so I haven't done a lot of research on the subject. A lot of the people in my Discord are big EQ fans, so I get most of my information from them. Not that I'm not a fan of the game, but I'm not very knowledgeable of it. It wasn't my first, you know what I mean? For most people, EQ was their first. For me, it was Asheron's Call. So that was my game. And then I got into EQ later after Kunart came out. Now, from what I gather, level 50 cap, no progression. No progression? So now I vaguely recall hearing real-time progression, but I could be wrong. Releasing the expansions in the same time frame that they were released for the live game. But I don't know. Google it. But it's going to be an experience. First, I wasn't going to do it. I had gotten so burned out on EverQuest from doing P99 for as long as we did. I just was not interested. But then we got to talking, and the old nostalgia bug kicked in, and so I'm going to at least give it a try. We'll see how it goes. Newbie log in Nectalos Forest might be an active place to hunt again. So my fondest memories were that freaking log. I know there's a skeleton in here. Where the hell is he? There's 3. There's supposed to be 3 skeletons. Interesting. I say I'm going to make a specific character, but the truth of the matter is I'm going to make 600 specific characters. Reroll, delete, reroll, delete. That's what I do. Where am I at? So confused. Ah. Damn it. Oh, of course you would be. Alright, screw it. I tried killing the yellow one when we first got here and it didn't go well. We'll try this guy. My biggest concern is how that's going to affect the numbers on the blue server. Obviously, there's going to be an initial drop. But people got a lot of time in on this server. It's been around a long time. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. seem to recall having to kill quite a few of these things before I finally got a pristine carapace to drop. Well, that's not what I need at all. And you must pay for the sins of your fathers or mothers. And then we sit. I get bored. Wolf, what's going on? I should have uploaded the black coffee cup with the you know, the H on it, the avatar thing. But I was in a hurry to get something uploaded. Wolf is one of the regular members of our excursions, always willing to sit around while we noob all over the place, hold our hands, rescue us when needed. This is Butcher Block Mountains. Gathorn and Thompson are back in school now, so their time is limited. Doffy got banned. Did you hear about that? He's a good boy. He didn't do nothing. Yeah, he was. He went over to one of the other servers that allows multi-boxing, and he had that little bit of software on his computer that allows you to multi-box on the same PC, and then he went back onto P99. Apparently, it scanned his installation and found that software there, and they just banned him. No questions asked. They didn't give him a chance to defend himself. They didn't give him a chance to explain it. You know, I even contacted him and said, "Look, you got the wrong guy. Doffy does not cheat. He's very much play by the rules kind of guy." And they just wouldn't budge. Yeah, it really does. Well, A, it sucks that they scanned his hard drive without, letting him know that they're going to scan his installation. And B, just being so inflexible on the thing. When it's painfully obvious that, You know, Doffy never boxed. God, he's been on the server forever. There's a whole video about it. That's what I should have done. I should have linked the video that we made about it. How influential it was in his recovery and everything. Now he's forced to play Classic WoW. Poor guy. I feel bad for him. Oh, come on, drop the damn thing. I can only kill one out of every 3. I wasn't sure if I put a cracked Darkwood shield on this guy or not, so I didn't grab it off my bard. And he's just using plain old wooden shield, small round shield. Guess I could still transfer it over. I'm just lazy. Although it would be a nice light source. Maybe we'll do that when we level up. We'll do a quick swap. Because I got my bard parked in Paladin. Every one of my characters always ends up with a polished granite tomahawk and a cracked darkwood shield. Because all the time we spend in high pass. Love that zone. Love that zone. I'm looking forward to actually doing it for real on the green server. That's one of the things I'm really looking forward to. Of course, getting to camp is going to be difficult. After what it did to the franchise, nobody would blame you, Necro. Wipe those Gungans out. That was the beginning of the end. Oh, speaking of which, it's a bad idea. We watched Endgame last night. We started watching around 9 o'clock, and I usually stream at 11. And I didn't realize that the movie was going to be so god awful long. And all I can say is it's 3 hours of my life I'll never get back. And it's nice closure, you know, to the Disney destruction of the Marvel universe. And now I can safely say I'll never watch another Marvel movie again after that travesty. Holy crap, that was rough. But I forced myself to sit through it. Oh yeah, that too. But yeah, yeah. They shat all over my childhood. Everything that I used to hold dear has been destroyed by Disney. Peanuts. Good Lord, they destroyed Peanuts. Charles Schultz is rolling over in his grave. 3D CGI Peanuts. Charlie Brown. Okay, just so you don't think I'm saying something dirty. We're almost ready to level. One more kill and should do it. Let's find something blue. Something borrowed, something blue. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm so freaking tired. Did nothing but sleep today. But in the opening minutes of the movie, when old Captain Marvel came out to save everybody's day, you know, Captain I can do no wrong Marvel, I was born perfect, and the most satisfying moment in the movie though was when he ripped the Soul Stone out of the gauntlet and just freaking destroyed her with it. That just made me so happy. So freaking happy. What level am I? 8. Almost 9. 1 kill away from 9. It's not bad. 6 months, 9 levels. That's pretty. That's a new record for me, I think. Dwarf. I forgot gnomes can be paladins. Wait, can they? Can gnomes be paladins? I know they can be shadow knights. Ding. There we go, level 9. Now we got our spells. Let's go get our spells so we at least have some kind of crappy heal. And we'll swap over that cracked Darkwood shield too. That'll give us a light source, so it's not so dark. Oh, they can't. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Stock up on some bone chips to lock our level in on the way. Well, let's try it. Wrigley. Swine. Wrigley, thanks for the follow. Where are they? Thompson is back in school now, so his time is kind of restricted. Gathorn is in Germany, so it's like 6 a.m. for him right now. Wolf is here. He's in the stream. At least he was. Yeah, he's still here. Who else? Tommy. My son. He had to get up. He has to get up early in the morning, so he's not on tonight. I'm actually surprised Thompson didn't stop by. He's still on in the Discord. Usually pops in the stream. That's why I'm playing this guy, because nobody else is around right now, so I figure I'll just level up one of my noobs. Not really getting back into the blue server too much. I'm just kind of keep my hands in until the green server comes up. I find it's best that when you're getting ready to take part in torture that you gradually work your way into it. Oh, it's going to be rough. I guess I'm not really selling it too well, am I? It's been a lot of changes in MMOs from 1999 until now. And you get used to it. You get used to the easier gameplay, the faster leveling, the lack of death penalties. God, so many skeletons. I gotta kill them. It's bone chips to lock in the level. Assuming they drop them, rotten bastards. Give me your bones. Alright, he makes up for it. Grabbing a few more bone chips before I go into town. I'm not going to do this long. Alright, that's good. And we gotta kill him just because he's a goblin. But he saw it all happen, so he can go back and tell the others. That's how you build a reputation. Always leave one survivor. Now before we go any further, I'm going to swap that shield over to this guy. Which means I have to go to my spot. Drop transfers. You gotta love them. And you always hope your client doesn't crash. But yeah, Thompson and Gathorn are both back in school now, so they're not around too much anymore. Oh. Gathorn actually started following the channel when I was still doing the afternoon streams, and for him that's perfect time of the day. But then when I switched over to just nights only, he tried for as long as he could to keep up, but you can't expect somebody to get up that early in the morning just to play EverQuest. Alright, now I have to go to the bank real quick. I'm just grabbing a shield for my dwarf. It's Diggins. Good old Diggins. There it is. Oh, that has 12 AC on it too. I didn't know that. Anything else while we're here? No, this guy doesn't have anything. Polish Granite Tomahawk. Oh, he's got one of those laying around. Don't know why. Alright. I think this lady up here sells bags. What? I don't have any money? I was just using it for a transfer, that's all. It's easier to pick up a bag. Besides, can you buy medicine bags in Paladin? Isn't that a shaman thing? Mick Foley. Doesn't it look like Mick Foley? Cactus Jack, Mankind, Mick Foley. The wrestler. Former wrestler. Wrangle! Wrangle? Wrangle. Or Rangel. Thank you for the follow. Now we have a light source. We can see. Remind me to never do that quest. I mean, the graphics are cheesy. They're old. They're dated on the Star Wars Legends server. But just the fact that you jump right into it and you're running around with Han Solo and Chewbacca, you know, that's something that the original Galaxies game was. And there's voice acting, and all that stuff was missing from the original game. And I think the original would have been much more popular if they'd just put a little more effort into it, because it really just seems like something they kind of just slapped together. I'm probably going to get some hate from that, but it was really just a flat, hollow experience. It wasn't Star Wars. It was guys running around in space, and occasionally you see somebody with a light sword. Yeah, that's probably more. And the greatest thing that they ever did to the franchise was to walk away from it. I was so glad when Sony decided to get out of the online gaming market. They had no business being in it in the first place. It's not their thing. Stick with your consoles. Okay, now we need spells. Where do we get those from? Do you have spells? No, you don't. Then don't talk to me, woman. Where's the spell peddlers? Paladin 9. Yelp. Okay, I think that's about it. A lot of the games that have they're the licensed games, you know, games after a specifically known brand. You know what I'm trying to say? They very seldom work out well. It's a shame. Like Matrix Online comes to mind. It would have been a great game if it didn't suck so much, I guess. Yeah, was it? Huh. Starting to notice a trend. Yeah. I found that I prefer playing on the private servers for a lot of these games, though, unfortunately. Rather than the official servers. Because they tend to get a little more creative. They take a good thing and they make it a little bit better, you know what I mean? There's a EQ Reborn is a classic server, but it's the classic version of the game with some quality of life improvements that makes it a little more bearable. You know, you're out of combat, healing time is enhanced, so you don't have as much downtime. That's one of the things that's always turned me off to EverQuest, just the sheer amount of time you spend sitting around doing absolutely nothing. It's a game. I want to play it. And it's not a dig. They didn't know what they were doing. It was 1999. This was all new. They were pushing the realism thing, I guess, a little too heavily. I don't know why. I don't know why, but we're doing it. We have a heal. It's not much, but it's a heal. Especially after having come to EverQuest from Asheron's Call. And if you've ever played Asheron's Call, there's no downtime. None. It's constant. The only downtime you have is when you buff. But when you buff in that game, you buff for 15-20 minutes because you just buff everything. But then it's just hunt. You get wounded, you heal. You heal right in the middle of combat. Just use one of your healing kits right in the middle of combat. You just stop, apply your healing kit, you get right back into the fight. All the downtime in that game was in between fights. But you never ran out of mana. It was just, if you knew how to play like a mage, for example, if you knew what you were doing, you never ran out of mana. Easier, but you were much more prone to big hits in that game. Whereas in EverQuest, it's a ding, 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 and then it knocks you down. It's a steady thing, whereas in Asheron's Call you get hammered and you had to heal from it quick because like half your life gone in one hit. Not saying that doesn't happen in EverQuest, but typically your typical fight in EverQuest is just a series of pitter pats that slowly chip away at your health total, whereas in Asheron's Call you would have those, but in that game you either took a huge hit or you took 0 damage because of all your buffing. Your buffing would reduce the damage to 0 for most attacks. Except for those big hits. And those big hits were big. Half your life bar. And if they hit you with it 2 times in a row, you were dead. Bam. That quick. And then all your skills are reduced by 5%. And you drop a few random pieces when you die of gear and whatnot. So like if you're for your buffing, for example, if you're just skirting the line on your spells, you know, you're just at where you need to be to cast those spells and you die, when you go to rebuff again, you're going to be fizzling your spells constantly because your skill has dropped 5%. And that's 5% per death, up to a maximum of 40. So completely different animal. It was a very fast-paced game. You ran like Mach 5 once you got your run skill high enough, and you could jump over your house because you had a jump skill, and the higher it got, I don't think they anticipated anybody raising it as high as people did. But people found out if you raised your jump skill really high and then buffed it on top of that, you could jump really for like 20-30 foot verticals. It was fun. It was different. They both came out at the same time. EverQuest beat him to the punch by a few months. But that was the first game I played. So going from that to this, you can imagine the culture shock that entailed. Yeah, it's quite an adjustment. And not only did I go from Asheron's Call to EverQuest, but I also went to Valenczek, the Valenczek server, because that's where all my friends were played, and that was a race war server where you had the 4 factions. And so trying to get anything done was next to impossible because you're always getting killed by somebody. If you weren't getting killed by a bad guy, you're getting killed by another player. And very frustrating in the beginning. But then after a few months of that, we all decided to switch over to a blue server and started making some progress. But then the whole thing kind of broke apart and we all went our separate ways. Different games came out. That was around the time Dark Age came out, I believe. So a lot of the folks went over to Dark Age. I went back to Asheron's Call. Then City of Heroes came out, and I went over to that, and the rest is history. Christ, I built a brand new computer just to play City of Heroes. It was around that time that NCSoft had out this free-to-play game called X-Steel. It was the most amazing shooter-type game I've ever played. And just for what it was a mech game. You played in a mech, fully customizable mech. You can make it big and slow, slow and fast, or small and fast. A variety of different weapon loadouts and whatnot, and it was a really fast-paced game. And there was a lot of capture the flag and base control and stuff like that. Your typical PvP fare. And I used to have so much fun on that game. You'd sweat. It was one of those games where you sweat when you play it because it was so fast-paced and you were just constantly moving and dodging and bobbing and weaving and your machine gun's blazing away, slashing somebody with your big old energy sword, whatever you're doing. Very fast-paced, fun game. And then just for whatever reason they just took it down one day. And wasn't making enough money. I don't know what the deal was, but nobody has access to the source code for it, and that's one that I'd like to see come back on a private server of some sort, or even on an official server. It was such a good game. If you ever get a chance, Google the, oh, I don't need Corflunk, I need Zarkumi's head. YouTube, look up on YouTube some of the gameplay videos for that. Now they're going to be a bit dated now, of course. This is back in like the early 2000s. Just kill him. Kill him, Blue. You're out here killing beetles while you're running from Corflunk for. Still trying to get that scarab carapace. So I can get the chest piece. I'm tired of walking around this patchwork stuff. Might not make it to Crushbone tonight. False advertising. Turn me into the Federal Trade Commission. Need beetles, damn it. Hey, look at this, we can heal now. 1% at a time. Oh, 3%, my bad. Of course, I don't think we have meditate yet. Paladins are just rangers that don't get chicks. There's one. Wonder if money's going to weigh anything on the green server. I'm thinking it does on this server, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. That's right. But nobody's going to have any, so people are going to be less likely to delete all that copper. Interesting. Where are you going? He can't see me. Ah, there we go. We got it. All right. Now we need 23 gold pieces. Do we have 23? No, we don't. And you have to give him exactly 23 gold pieces. Can't give him 2 plat and 3 gold. The breast piece is nothing fancy. It's just a... It's not this. That's all. It's green. I got the helmet and the boots, but swapped them out for Krusty. And Lieutenant's helm. Bits I had laying around. My daughter's going as a witch for Halloween this year, and she was trying on her costume, and I told her how cute she looked, and she got very offended. I'm a witch. I'm not cute. I'm scary. I don't even know what level Crushbone is. Spent so little time on this continent. I've always played on Antonica. I know all the zones over there like the back of my hand, but over here I'm completely lost. Not completely, but I mean it's not that difficult to find your way around. I don't think I have 23 gold worth of stuff. Let's find out. Otherwise we'll have to visit the bank. Nope. Alright. How many did he say? 23? I forget, it was 23 or 28. I forget. I will find out. No time to res. This guy isn't even in the guild. That's disappointing. $23 gold. So we give him this. Thompson, we're just talking about you. And none of it was good. And there it is. Our sexy new chess piece. +1 strength, +1 stamina, -1 dex, +10 hit points. AC 14. Yeah, I figured you're a bit back in school now. Didn't know about the flu thing. Hope you're feeling better. Daughter's just getting over it. And she's a jerk when she's sick. Not missing it. I'm just noobing. Not doing anything. Just noobing. I was going to stream last night, but we started watching Endgame. Avengers. I wish I'd streamed. I really do. It was a very disappointing movie. Okay. I'm just putzing around until the Green Server launches, to tell you the truth. Not getting into anything. And once that's up and running, we'll take the Fellowship over to the green side. Oh, excuse me. I must be getting old. Start going to bed when the sun goes down. My mom does that. She's in bed by 7 o'clock every night. She doesn't go to sleep until like 9. She'll sit up there and read or whatever. Not up there. She was here for the weekend. But she'll sit in her room and read till like 9 o'clock. Then she'll turn out the lights. Have you changed your major yet? Or are you sticking with math? Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be painful. It's going to be slow. It's going to be grindy. It's going to be everything I hate about gaming, but it's going to be fun. Yeah. You happy with the math major? Good, good. All right, I'll be right back. I need a coffee. And then we're heading over to Crushbone. BRB. Ooh. All right, Thompson. Probably not still here, but study hard. Make your parents proud. We got a bit of a run ahead of us. Ogres are just funny. I will not be playing an ogre. I promise you that. I will never play an ogre again. I really wish I'd made a Dark Elf Shadow Knight instead of an Ogre Shadow Knight. That stun resist is nice, especially for the way we play. But I really wish I'd made a Dark Elf. Or anything other than an ogre. Human, whatever. Now my temptation was to level this guy up a little bit and then head over to Antonica and hit up, was it Befallen? But I decided to give this continent a fair shake. Something I never do. Tender Cream, what's going on? Oh, Jesus. I realized I had all this stuff. Heading over to Crushbone. I wanted to get my Scarab Carapace Breastplate. Now I'm heading over to Crushbone. Get killed a few times. Get knocked back to level 8. You know, EQ. That bat scared the hell out of me. And here we are. Should probably get bound over here, but that'd be the responsible thing to do. We can't have that. Yeah, I think I am going. That's what I'm going to do on the new server. I think I'm going to make a ranger. Probably the only one on the entire server, but I'm doing it. Ah. Evergreen leaf. Green server. The P99 folks are launching the green server next month. It's going to be a fresh start, classic server only, no expansions. Iron Man mode, I guess, is what they're calling it. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be rough. It's going to be painful. And it's going to be fun. Fresh slate. Everybody's going to be starting out on the same level. You're not going to be walking into a server that people have been playing on for 20 years and all their characters are geared up and you're so far behind you'll never catch up, kind of thing. Did I miss something? There it is. All right, what do we got here? 3 blues. Come and get me, fellas. Come and get me. All right, let's do this. I ain't afraid of none. Oops, I forgot to buff. My one buff. That's right. Quit messing around. There's a torrent you can download. It's a no install version of the client. You just unzip it and launch it and you're good to go. You're going to have to update the patch files that you get from the P99 site, but it's the easiest thing in the world. You unzip it, apply those patch files, and make your account, of course, and then you're good to go. Easy peasy. and then you just save a backup of that. And then, like, if you have to reformat your computer or whatever, you just copy it back over onto your hard drive and you're good to go. And hell, you can save it on a flash drive. It's such a small file size, or the folder. I don't meditate yet, but whatever. You know, that one site. You'll need a torrent downloader. You know, like I use. I don't even remember what I use. But you know, like BitTorrent or uTorrent or something like that. You'll need one of those programs, and then I downloaded it off Pirate Bay. The official server guys that run the server aren't allowed to tell you that, but I'm not affiliated with the server in any way, shape, or form, so I can tell you whatever I want. Part of the agreement with Sony, with Daybreak, allowing them to run these private servers is because they are private servers. They call them emulators, but they are private servers. Was that they not step on any toes? You know, respect their intellectual property and don't make any money off of it, and don't make a server with the most recent content on it. That's all. Because the live servers are still running, of course. So they want to keep their business going as long as possible. Crushbone belts. We're going to be stocking up on a lot of those. But yeah, find the no install one. It's if you do a search for like titanium or P99 or whatever on Pirate Bay. I forget exactly how it pops up, but it'll pop up, and then it's just a zip file. Unzip it, apply the patch, make your account, of course, on the P99 page, and you're good to go. Just try and get an actual physical copy of the game of Titanium Edition. The prices that people are asking for it are retarded. $200. To the best of my knowledge, yes. I vaguely recall reading something about it being a real-time progression server, but I could be wrong. I might be mixing that up with another server because there's so many of them. So it's completely possible that I'm mixing it up with another one. I might be thinking of the Rebirth or EQ Reborn server. But yeah, straight classic. Level 50 max. Stuck on the corpse. Ah, Legionnaires are red. Spent a fair amount of time here on some of our alts. I forget which characters we were playing, but we came here quite a bit. Gnomes, maybe? I don't know. The orc trainer. Oh, he's red. Shit. That's too bad. hell's he got in his hand? He drops a shield, but there's something else he drops also. I forget what it is. It's nothing really even worth worrying about on this server. No, 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 don't go that way. Don't go that way. Damn it. Ah! Get him off! Get him off, get him off. Ah! Come on, you. All right. You know, I shouted it out and you stood there. Now it's on you. Well, I didn't shout it, but yeah. Oh crap, I forgot about lay on hands. I wonder how far I could have taken him down. Yeah, he's a bit of a jerk. Come to Bristlebane. I play on Zegany on the live servers. Have for years. Years and years and years. Well, 19 years, actually. I've always been a filthy casual with it. I've never played it too seriously. Who's it going to be, me or him? I got my own guild on Zegany. Just a small little family guild thing. And I've had it for years. long enough to qualify for 4 character bumps, whatever that means. And that's the only way I got my characters as high level as I did, was through the artificial bumps. Because it was always, the live servers were something I always did when I was between games. I can hop on EverQuest and just goof around for a while. But the private servers for EverQuest I've always enjoyed a lot more. I don't know why. I don't know why. Hidden Forest server was a lot of fun. P99, of course. P99 we've been playing on for several years. Off and on. And the Green server's coming out next month. We're going to be jumping on that. Starting fresh. Those things are heavy. Well, now we know that as long as our lay on hands is up, we can take out the trainer. Green server, Green server's P99, Project 1999. They're launching a green server next month, and it's classic EverQuest, just the base core game, no expansions. Level 50 cap. All the horror that goes along with that. The grindy, the slow pace, the starting out with rusty weapons. It's going to be a clean slate. Everybody's going to be starting at the same point. So you're not going to have a bunch of people that are all geared out because they've been playing for years. It's completely fresh server. Something they've been wanting to do for a while, and I guess they finally got up the gumption to get it up and running. And here we go. Not for the faint of heart. We're going to get a little group together probably on weekends. It's not going to be anything serious. It's not going to be anything hardcore. Like something to do on weekends, like a weekly D&D game kind of thing, but on EverQuest. I'm probably going to make a ranger. I think I've got myself talked into making a Wood Elf Ranger. I mean, I'll roll up other characters, of course, because that's what I do. But my primary character is going to be a Wood Elf Ranger. And we're just going to play. Run around with our rusty weapons and do our goofy little quests that actually mean something for a change. There's so many quests in the game that just lose all meaning once it gets to a certain point. There's no point in doing them. But with the fresh start, those quests are going to mean something again. And they're nothing big. It's just stupid little stuff. You know. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. You know, like the game was when it first came out. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just going to be a very casual weekend kind of thing. Because, you know, two of the guys from the Fellowship are also in school, and one of them's in Germany, so you know, organizing times is going to be fun. But yeah, they're both in school, so they only have weekends free, and you know, jobs and everything. At the time I always stream so late. So, oh God, it took forever back in the day when it first started up. It took forever. But then once it started, it starts snowballing, you know. So all it takes is one level 50 druid, and that's it. You're power level and everybody on the server, or a bard, you know. Yeah. I wasn't there for it, so I have no idea. Like I said, my first game was Asheron's Call. I didn't hop onto EverQuest until after Kunark came out. So I missed all the very early days. And all I'm doing now is just, you know, keep my hands in. Now, somebody was mentioning that they're going to be shifting any of the level 50s that occur on this server over to the blue server. I don't know how true that is. You know, you hear things. I don't know. You know, to keep it fresh. You know, once you reach a certain point, you get shifted over to the blue server. I don't know if there's any validity to that. So, you know. I don't know if it's going to be an opt-in kind of thing or a mandatory kind of thing after your character reaches a certain point or whatever. I don't know. I imagine it would be an opt-in thing. I didn't think you could interrupt y'all. That does absolutely nothing. I don't know why I insist on using that spell. It has absolutely no effect. You can use it to pull, but it's a messy pull. 100% true. Okay, yeah, Schlappy's just messaged me and said that they will be transferring characters over after a certain point to the blue server from the green server. I guess that's to keep the green server from getting flooded with level 50s. I don't know. Thanks, Schlapp, if you're watching. Oh, okay, but then green won't fold into blue until 2023 when the last Velios patch goes through. Okay, so they're going to run both servers at the same time. I'm getting updates. They're going to run both servers at the same time, side by side. But there's no plans on pushing the 50s off the green server onto the blue server until 2023 when the last Velios patch goes live. And that way you can get into your Velios stuff and continue on with your character if you so choose. Not as far away as it seems. It'll be here before you know it. Seems like a long time away, but it's not that far. So it gives you 3 years to get your characters up and running. And I imagine it's going to take quite a while, especially for the more casual players, to get their characters to max level. Christ, the rate I play, it'll be 30 before I have a level 50 character. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening. That's a long run. That's why you make a cleric. What type we got? Well, I think I'm going to have to cut out. It's about 1:30 my time. Gotta get up with the beast in the morning. What are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be hopping back on Shroud of the Avatar for a bit. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are kind of hit or miss because of my work schedule. But I'm going to start doing this on weekends more often, leading up to the Green Server. So, I don't know, maybe I'll do City Heroes tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But until then, you folks have a great night. I hope your week goes quickly and well. And, yeah, have a good night.